change these ear pads on these.
Hello, folks, and welcome inside the Campus Recreation and Wellness Center for the first of three. You heard me right, 3 volleyball games here today between the Durham Lords and the Algonquin Thunder. We're going to start this off right away with game 1, a continuation of a game between your Durham Lords and these Algonquin Thunder way back on Saturday, September the 27th. We are currently locked up 1 score apiece. The game was played in Algonquin. There was a ball that hit a fan up at the top of the rafters, and it was hanging down very perilously on a Saturday night. Obviously, there was no staff around.
It was a Saturday night, but it was November 25th.
Oh, why does it say?
Because that's the updated date.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's today, November 25th. Thanks, Johnny.
You're welcome.
Haven't even welcomed you in yet, but John Lodge, my trusty broadcast partner, here as always to help me out. So back in November, these 2 teams played, and due to unsafe playing conditions, this game was postponed till right now as these 2 teams look to find a way to claw into the playoffs. Joey Chapman alongside John Lodge, as I mentioned earlier. John, looking forward to a long day of volleyball here.
Yeah, definitely, Joey. The Lords were on a winning streak when this game was postponed. They did go on to win 2 after the postponement, but since then have lost 4 in a row. Looking to get back on the winning ways here. 2 W's here today, 4 points. Would go huge in the standings and put them just behind Candor and just behind St. Clair in the national standings. So it'll be a good job for the Lords to come out here strong and take this one quick, go into the break, and start off fresh in the later game for the full game that we have on the slate here. But I do hear, Joey, that we have a shout out today.
Oh, for sure. We got to give it a shout out to Mary and Steve. Mary and Steve, in Thunder Bay, the aunt and uncle of Evan McMillan. Shout out to you guys watching. We're told you're big fans of the broadcast, and thank you for joining us here on the Durham Lords Network. Starting lineups today, John, for the Durham Lords: Luke Farfard. Luke. I haven't done your play-by-play in a while. Luke Fafard, Tyler Craby, Eric Jensen, Taylor Mickelson, alongside Rory Langley, Wesley Armstrong, and Christopher Felicino. For the Algonquin Thunder, Craig DeFries, Cameron Jones, Gareth Luke, Toms Collingworth, Jonah Nyman, and Tristan Cardinal, alongside Jared McNunna, are your starters as this game is 2 points in here, and the Lords back on serve. This will be none other than Lucas Pitchell, who gets the ball over. Nice dig out there from Gareth Luke. Lords trying to answer back. It's Jensen. He just tips that ball over. It's a nice dig out there. Jensen with a little bit of a fake. Algonquin trying to respond. It's Langley to Jensen, and Jensen hammers that ball, but another good block at the net from this Algonquin Thunder team. And a point there for the Thunder as it just hits off the arms of Rory Langley. A good rally there as we are well underway inside the CRWC.
We got Eric Jansen sporting a new haircut for Dad, and I just wanted to jump in there before we get back under play here and make sure that we key in on Jonah Neiman. He's the setup man for the Thunder. 300 assists so far in the year, so the next closest is 47, so I assume that the ball is going to hit him and then go over the net.
Certainly would be my bet as well, John, as that is a lot of assists to rack up in an OCAA season, let alone with so many games remaining. As that serve there off the hands of Jonah Nyman, just a little too far to the right, and the Lords get back on serve here, down 4-2, but Langley with the opportunity here. Lords playing a 4-1. There's lots of bodies in front of the net, and it pays off for them there as Craig DeFrance, the libero, just couldn't get low enough to get under that ball, and the Rory Langley takes advantage of a good serve and looks to do it again here. Langley throws it up, and it's over. A hard serve there as Algonquin's going to have a chance to return. They do. They go right at Langley. This ball has to go over, and Langley is the one to do it there. Set up from Nyman. A big block at the net from Mickelson. And after missing last game due to injury, Taylor Mickelson coming in and making his presence known here early.
Fortunately, it went out of bounds.
That's unfortunate, as I didn't see it hit out of bounds. I just saw Mickelson, and he looked pretty pumped up. as Algonquin gets the serve back. It's McDonough. Long volley there, and that's going to hit the post. I guess they call it the post. I don't really know what they call that, John.
The swirly colored straw?
Yeah, the red and white
candy
barrier?
Cane?
Yeah, whatever.
Candy
I don't know what they call it. I'm going to call it the post because that's easier for me. And McDonough, excuse me, retained serve. That's a good serve from him there. It's Mickelson at the net. He tried to hammer it, but a combo block there between Gareth Luke and Tristan Cardinal says no, no, no. And the Lords find themselves down by 4 here early in what is the third set of this continuation game. If you were not with us off the top of our broadcast, this is the third set of a game that we are continuing from November. And that is a point for the Lords. As a nice little move there from Tyler Karaby. Just tips that ball over the net and gives Eric Jensen the opportunity for the Lords.
We have a celebrity appearance in our game day staff, Joey, of the men's basketball team. It's Funcho DeMeggi with doing 3-ball today.
Funcho hanging out and showing his support for the other Lords. There's a big rally here for Durham as Langley has to get that ball over off of a hard serve. Big opportunity for Algonquin, but that's going right into the net, and it will be a 4-touch from the Algonquin Thunder nonetheless, and Eric Jensen retained serves here with 5-7 the score in favor of the Algonquin Thunder here early in this third set. This is Jensen. Hard serve there from the big man. Langley with the block back, a tap over there from Algonquin. Langley. Hard hit there, but right into the net as Tyler Karaby just couldn't get enough of it, but the Lords get the point. Didn't see a signal there from the officials, John, did you?
No, I didn't. I honestly thought that was just hammered into the net.
Yeah, head coach Mo Sheehan, I was talking to before the game, not happy with that one, but we've seen him a lot all the way back at the Adidas Cup. Certainly has the ability to get a little temperamental out there as the Lords.
Oh, that was a nice dig there by Fafard, but unable to come up with it. There was Mickelson.
Yeah, that was too bad for Durham there, but Algonquin takes advantage of a good serve and continue to hold here, leading 8-6.
The most interesting part of this is going to be the second half here. How much energy are these guys going to have for that full game later on tonight at 8 o'clock?
Yeah, for sure. As a big smash there from Tyler Karaby gets the Lords back in the plus column. Certainly something I don't think these players want to be focused on too much, John, is how they're going to feel after this game. Come out, win the first game, and then let the chips fall where they may in game number 2, but you would definitely want to start out on the right foot with a W.
Yeah, I was listening to Coach Matsuyaka before the game started in the huddle, and he has said to his guys, you know what, let's take it play by play, don't overthink it, and let's just have fun out there, and just go set by set, play by play, not think about the next game, not think about the standings, and do what they know how to do best.
Mickelson with a good serve there, gets it over, a play at the net, and what a nice play there by Cameron Jones, the first-year player out of Ottawa. Jumped up, looked like he was going to spike it, but gets his left hand on the ball and just taps it down. Bit of a misplay there by Rory Langley.
I was going to say, it was a nice adjustment, though, by Jones, because, like you said, it looked like he was going to go up and smash it, but then he readjusted and just flicked it through the block.
For sure, as the Lords try and answer back here, and once again, that ball goes into the net. Once again, it's Tyler Karaby, as the Lords struggling here at the net front early in this third set.
Yeah, he's either just not getting up high enough or he's hitting it too low on his palm.
Yeah, we'll see how the adjustments go. This is Jensen, who has no problem with that one, as Eric Jensen goes cross court and hammers it home to put the Lords back on serve. And Tyler Karaby is going to have an opportunity here to redeem himself and tie this game up at 10s.
The big man's got the accuracy and the power dialed up to full already so far today. We'll see if he can keep that going, painting those lines.
Serve there, returned by Algonquin. They spike it, and a hard hit there from Gareth Luke, a third-year Ottawa native, right at Eric Jensen, and don't see that very often, as Eric Jensen couldn't control that, and Algonquin gets served back. This is Luke again with the serve, and Pitchell hits that ball hard, but into the net, as the Lords have opened up a 3-point deficit here with Gareth Luke on serve for Algonquin. Luke, Jensen, Langley quickly over there as tries to catch the Algonquin Thunder off guard. Nice play there by Langley trying to set up, and that was Wesley Armstrong who just got under that ball a little too much trying to go cross court. And it will be Algonquin Thunder serve once again. And a first timeout called by Coach George Matziaka as he's seen enough here early on.
I was just going to say, sorry, the Thunder have opened up an early lead here, 4-point lead against the Lords. It was a little bit of a struggle previous. They were going back and forth before that 10-point mark, but the Lords have kind of let the unforced errors get the better of them. This timeout, we'll see what happens, but hopefully Coach Matziaka can come out, or they can come out of it and with some words of wisdom and just play a little bit more sound, a little bit quieter as opposed to so loud on the court.
Both teams fairly even coming into this season, both sitting at 6-5 on the year. Coming into this game, Algonquin is 3-3 on the road. Durham 3-3 here at home. Biggest difference when you look at the statistics from both teams is just Durham averages almost 2 more assists per game. Certainly when you had Harrison Wood and Eric Jensen, having those two guys, it's easy to set those two up with helpers, but maybe the Lords can do a better job at spreading the ball around here and using that to find the open space on the court if they try and come back into this ball game.
Yeah, just to put a little bit more emphasis on how important Wood was to this team, they've played 3 games since, or 4 games since they've been back from the break. This will be their this will be the 4th, and Wood is still 2nd on the team in points. Yeah,
I have a feeling he's probably going to finish the year in the top 3 in Durham Lords points, no matter what. Here, John, I'm looking at it now. He, excuse me, as I don't know why it doesn't like that. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. He averages so many more points per game. Lucas Pitchell's really the next guy behind him, and he's got a long way away with still 35 points to catch him. So I guess Lucas Pitchell is going to, with an opportunity, so does Tyler Kraby, but Harrison Wood will finish in the top 5 in points despite not playing in the 2nd semester of this year. That ball sent hard and long over the net by Jared McNaughton as he just got way too much of that ball, and the Lords will get back on serve here, down by 3. It will be Pitchell for the green, white, and gold.
As I said to begin the broadcast, that 2 wins here would be great for the Lords. They've had a struggle. They've had a struggle since November 28th against George Brown. That big win, you thought that winning against a strong team like that, as Jansen goes up and smashes that one down, but you'd think after winning a big game against George Brown, a top team, that you'd be able to come out and keep going, but they've just lost 4 games since then, so we're hoping that they can swing back and able to get some momentum back going into the end of the season and into that new tournament in a couple months.
Yeah, that was a huge win against George Brown, John. We were here for that game, as that's a misplay there from the Lords. Things just not going their way here early, and we certainly thought coming off of that game against George Brown that we would be a lot more competitive of a season for Durham, as that was a huge momentum building 5-set win against a very good team. And you're right, it's been disappointing for them not being able to build on that. Certainly the winter break takes away a little bit of momentum as Mickelson gets that ball over, dug out there by Algonquin. They answer back, but hit and hammered hard, and long is Cameron Jones, as Durham will get the ball back here. Rory Langley plays a nice game of catch with Funcho DeMeggi, and he's ready to go. Langley hits it hard. Just too much to handle there, as that's going to be a net violation or around the side, whatever you want to call it. Lords now within 1.
Yeah, I found it strange the referee didn't whistle that dead right away.
Yeah, it was weird. It really was.
He was going to have to go around the candy cane to get that anyway.
Candy cane, I like that. Maybe we'll call it that. It's better than post. It's not really a post. Yeah, it's red and white, kind of skinny. Let's call it a candy cane. I like it, Mr. Ludge.
Just making up names as we go along.
That's what we're here for, really. As McNaughton's going to answer back on serve here for Algonquin. Up by 2, McNaughton sends that ball right at Jensen. Jensen lets Fafard set it, and Jensen right at him. And that was Nyman getting a hand on it. Maybe a mistake. Diving play there by Mickelson.
Oh.
Langley gets it over there. Miraculous play. Durham trying to get some defense going here. Langley digs that ball out. Sets it up, and that's just a tip over there. A nice play by Fafard. As Algonquin trying to answer back, but they cannot. As Eric Jensen gets the block there, and the Lords come away with a miraculous rally.
Taylor Mickelson was in that block as well, so good job by both guys to get up there and get that point.
That was a lot of teamwork right there from the Lords. There's a lot of different green, white, and gold players touch that ball before Jensen with the block. Jensen with the serve right at DeFriends. A hard hit there, and that's going to be a violation.
A lift.
A lift against, or no, a throw, excuse me. A throw against the Algonquin Thunder there. And we are tied back up at 16s. Whatever Coach Matsiaka said at that timeout, clearly working for the Durham Lords, as they have rallied off a couple straight points here, and Jensen looks to do it again. That ball hit the net, but still went over. Last touch for Algonquin, blocked by the Lords at the net. It's Langley to Jensen, who hammers it there. Hits off the hand of an Algonquin player at the net and lands out of play. And Eric Jensen has given the Lords their first lead of this set.
What a job by Eric Jensen at serve. What a job by Eric Jensen at the net. This guy is on fire tonight. Like I said earlier, he's got it turned up all the way to 100.
As Jensen gets the ace there, hits the net and still goes over. That's 2 in a row for the big man, and that forces Algonquin into calling their first timeout as they trail now by 2.
What a job by the Lords, showing strength in a little bit of adversity here. It's an awkward situation, only having 3 sets to play for the win, not knowing how it's going to feel coming out right away. The Lords kind of got down a little bit, but once they got their legs going, it's been a great game. The Lords just need to keep up the temperature and keep up the pressure.
Yeah, the Lords going to have to continue to serve well here. The unforced errors certainly cost them the first 15 points or so of this match. The Algonquin Thunder gonna look to push here after this timeout, and that's gonna be a big moment here for the Lords if they can stop them and continue their momentum off the Algonquin timeout.
I like the adjustment by Kraby too, to not get up and smash that ball and just touch it over, put another look in the minds of the Thunder so that they don't think he's gonna do the same thing every single time.
And I like the adjustment from Kraby as well, because we've seen him put a couple balls into the net here tonight. We've seen one go long from Kraby. So he makes the adjustment, makes a nice little tip play at the net, and the Lords end up winning the point. Here is Jensen now back on serve. Eric Jensen hammers it hard right at Gareth Luke. Block at the net there as that hits off the arm of Taylor Mickelson and out of play. Algonquin Thunder doing a good job to answer back here off of their timeout. This will be Tristan Cardinal serving here for the Algonquin Thunder. The 6'4" Ontario native, Ottawa native, excuse me, sends that ball over. Jensen to Pitchell. Excuse me, that was Armstrong who got it over. Algonquin tries to answer back, hammered hard at Langley, but he does a good job there digging it out. Here is Armstrong, who hits it hard right into the double block, but the Algonquin Thunder can't control it, and Durham will get the ball back here. 19-17 the score. Taylor Mickelson will be on serve.
He got that one right into their body, not into their hands, so they brought it right back down with him when they came down.
That serve over the net from Mickelson. Answered back, Jensen digs it out. It's Langley. Just tipped over there by Fafard, and that's going to be a 2-touch, I believe, or a lift, excuse me, against the Thunder. And the Lords find themselves just 5 points away from a 3rd set victory here to go up 3-2.
I almost said first set victory.
I got you, buddy. I got you. As Mickelson bounces the ball, getting ready to go. Mickelson stays on his feet to serve that. That's uncharacteristic of some of the plays we see, but it works out for the Lords, as that was just slapped over there by Jonah Nyman. Not the best play from him, and Mickelson continues his strong stretch of service here.
Mickelson drawn into the lineup for Aaron Banga, who who started last game. Banga had a tough game, and we see an adjustment by Coach Matsiaka. Let's see if Banga gets into this game at all today.
Nice play there by Mickelson, one-handed to bump that ball up. It's Jensen gets it over. Algonquin does a good job there to get under it. That ball goes long, and the official calls it a deflection off the Lords. The Algonquin Thunder were looking for it, and they got it.
Not much of an argument from the Lords, so you got to know that that's the right call.
Yeah, that certainly looked like it might have deflected at the net. It was tough to see from this angle if it was net or hand, but the Thunder will be back on serve here. That ball sent right over, and the Lords quickly send it back. A bit of a miscommunication there between Wesley Armstrong and Eric Jensen as they both went up for that ball. And the Lords can't afford to be giving away points here like that. Have to talk out there on the court.
Yeah, that was a couple miscues there. You know, we'll chalk that up to poor communication. And
Langley to Pitchell, who gets it over there. That was nice and quick as the Durham Lords answer back and will get back on serve here, up by 3 points away from taking a 2-1 victory. Kraby sends that ball over. Nyman sends it up, tipped over, but a good block at the net by Lucas Pitchell. Big block there by Pitchell and Langley, and Algonquin tries to get it over, and they do. Good rally going here, Algonquin. They have one more touch on this possession. A hard hit, but way too hard, as Gareth Luke can't seem to find the range here. Oh, and they're going to call that Algonquin Thunder point, excuse me. They're going to say that was a deflection at the net. And the Algonquin Thunder will retain serve as there's a little bit of confusion going on down here on the court. Coaches looking at refs looking at players, but seem to get it figured out here as Algonquin retains serve. That ball, Langley to Pitchell, and Pitchell hits that off the side of his hand. And all of a sudden, we're in a 1-point game here, and Gareth Luke looks to retain serve. If
I was Coach Matsuoka, I'd call a timeout here. The guys are getting a little bit amped up and a little bit hot-blooded here.
Would certainly expect one if the Lords lose this point. A hard hit there by Armstrong, gets it over. And that lands out of bounds as the Durham Lords answer back, and maybe that forces the, oh no, excuse me, Banga is going to come in here. Banga is going to come in to serve. If I had to bet, we've seen Coach Matsuoka do this, use Banga as a serving specialist.
Coming in for Armstrong.
And here he comes, Eric Banga, just 2 points away from winning this set for the Durham Lords. He gets the ball over the net. Tip there, nice deflection by Lucas Pitchell as him and Armstrong were both there. That time Eric Jensen and Pitchell just couldn't get enough of that ball as a hard hit one there by Jared McNaughton finds the court on the Durham side. And they will go back on serve. And yeah, Banga comes directly back out. We've seen teams pick on him on the serve. Not surprising move there from Coach Matsuoka.
And I mean, Banga's just a first-year player. That'll come with time, right? Time and experience, he'll be able to stay out there longer, but he was definitely exposed in the last game.
Hard hit over the net there. It's Langley setting up Jensen, and Jensen hammers that ball, but a good dig out there by Curon. Lords make a mistake there as that's Wesley Armstrong getting a hand on that ball. Looked like it was going long, and we are tied up at 23s.
This is just how this set had started. It looks like it's how it's going to end, back and forth.
Langley to Pitchell, and that ball's hit hard, but a good job there by Rory Langley to dig out the block from Algonquin. Algonquin answers back, and but Durham will get the point there on a net touch, I believe is the call, and Lucas Pitchell will serve for the set.
Big point here coming up for the Lords.
Certainly is, as they do not want to go back and forth here with this Algonquin Thunder team. Two very evenly matched so far. Pitchell sends this ball over. It's dug out by Algonquin. They hammer it back, and down it goes as Jared McNaughton just hammers that ball past the outstretched arms of Lucas Pitchell, and we are tied up here at 24s.
And we are destined for overtime now, because you must win by 2 in volleyball.
You got that right. In OCAA rules, that is correct, Mr. Lodge. You must win by 2. This ball's sent over by Algonquin, and it just goes wide. Can't find the far right line from here. And just like that, Algonquin finds himself in a position to lose this set once again. But a timeout there called by Coach Sheehan.
Langley was ready to go. He was firing that one off, and all of a sudden there was a timeout and nobody was in their positions.
Yeah, Rory Langley certainly was looking to end that set right then and there. Certainly do not disagree with that timeout from the head coach of the Thunder, as gives his team a bit of a defensive refresher here as they try and figure out what they are going to do and how they are going to answer this Durham Lords attack. John, what have you seen so far here early in this game?
I think both these teams are just feeling each other out right now. That's why we're seeing a lot of back and forth and back and forth. They're just cleaning up their issues. Not too many unforced errors from Durham since that first time out by Coach Matsuyaka, so we like that. But you know, just a little bit more tidying up to do. Get those shots inside the lines, and let's end this set right now on this serve. Go into the next set, get a 2-set victory, win the game, and they can go into the locker room, have something to drink, relax, and get ready for game number 2 here, set to tip off at 8 o'clock.
Would certainly be better to win this now, as Langley has the opportunity. He hits that ball hard. Algonquin has to get it over here, and they do. That hits off the hands of Mickelson, I believe, as him and Jensen were both right there, and goes way long, as Algonquin not going away here without a fight. Back on serve, it's McNaughton once again. Second-year player for this Thunder team hits the ball over, and that's a misplay there by Luke Fafard, as the libero for the Durham Lords just can't control that serve. And now how fortunes have changed, as it's McNaughton now serving for the set. McNaughton takes a deep breath, takes his time, and hits this ball over right at Jensen. Langley to Jensen, who hits it hard right at him, as not being able to control it there was Jonah Neiman. And Eric Jensen just putting too much sauce on that one for the Thunder.
A sure-handed Jonah Neiman, unable to get that one up for his team. Good job by Jensen, putting everything he had into it.
Jensen, a high throw up there before the serve, and that ball was hammered. Big block there at the net with Armstrong and Mickelson, and the Lords will get the point. They're going to say there was a violation at the net from number 3, Craig DeFruzen of the Algonquin Thunder, and now Eric Jensen on serve for the set.
Big E with the serve here, ready to go.
See if he tries to go for another high one, and he does. Jensen hits that ball hard, gets it right at the Thunder. They try and answer back. They go to Jensen. It's Langley, and thrown over there hard by Tyler Karabi, and they're going to say that is it. Yeah, that is it for the set, as the Durham Lords take a good one, 28-26, as they now lead 2 sets to 1 here, and they are 1 set away from taking the victory.
Yeah, you scared me a little bit when you said thrown over the net.
It kind of looked like it, and then I saw the officials do a little bit of a wave off. I was kind of concerned myself, but
because I mean, yeah, it looked like it. I'm going to tell you right now, it was very close between a touch and a throw. So yeah, we'll take that third set. Almost said first set again. Third set victory, as I see Coach Tony Clark, coach of the women's volleyball team, just getting ready to go here, waiting to see how long this game's going to run. But good job there by the Lords cleaning that mess up. Had to go to overtime to get those points, but Big E came up big when he needed to, hammering that ball down and getting those serves across. The Lords keep this up, and they'll clean this up real quick. Yeah,
certainly a good job there by the Durham Lords to come back from an early deficit in that set. They found themselves down by as many as 4 at one point, and they find a way to rally back there. I think the biggest difference we see from the Lords in that set, John, was just the lack of unforced errors, something that has certainly hurt this team. We saw a few early in the set, but very few later on. That's why that play by Luke Fafard just a few points before the end of the set was so devastating, as he misplayed that serve from Algonquin.
Yeah, it just kind of looked like he wasn't fully set for the ball. It went off the side of his bump and it rolled off his fingers, went to the ground. It's one of those things where you're not mentally prepared for it, and it comes and gets you, and that's normally when it will come and get you, is when you're not ready for it. So that's why mental preparation is so huge in these games.
Like we've mentioned all night long, a triple header here for the Durham Lords, as game 2 coming up at 6 o'clock, as the women's teams will take part in a very similar matchup as the Lords take on the Thunder. It should be a good one as the Durham's women's team currently sits 8-4 on the year. Algonquin 10-2. So a battle of two powerhouses in the OCAA East Women's Region, and it should be a fun one to call. John Lodge will have the call for you on that one as we are just 30 seconds away from the start of this fourth set. As it's weird to say that, as we're moving along here nicely between the Lords and the Thunder.
Well, I will throw a shameless plug in there. Make sure
buddy. We got
you
time.
all check out the Sports Lodge Fridays at 11 a.m. on riotradio.ca. This past week, I had Joey on, and we talked everything from hockey to football, all-star games, goalie interference. What the heck is goalie interference?
I don't know. I had a good rant, I felt like.
It was fun, Joey, and you know, you're more than welcome to come on any other time. Other than next week, because the slot is filled, we're doing a little bit of a flashback Friday as my old co-host Jake Radford is going to be on, and we'll be talking everything Super Bowl, and I'll ask him a few questions about what exactly happened to those Pittsburgh Steelers in that divisional game. I'm sure he won't like that too much, but you should definitely check it out.
You should ask him how Le'Veon Bell is allowed to show up into a walkthrough with 5 minutes left and still allowed to play the football game, and if his head coach still has any control of his team. That's what you should ask Jake. As we move on here with the Algonquin Thunder going to be on serve to start this fourth set, it is Gareth Luke sending that ball over as they try and pick on Fafard. And that's a nice play there at the net by the Algonquin Thunder. Just tapped over. I believe that was Nyman.
Yeah, it definitely was.
And Durham down 1-0 here early.
Don't often expect Nyman to be putting him over the net for points. He's the one who's normally getting the assists, but good job being a little sneaky.
As Pitchell is blocked there, and that's a huge one by Jared McNaughton as he shows some emotion after that. Lucas Pitchell, I don't think, got all of that ball, but McNaughton takes advantage. And the Thunder up quickly here, 2-0. Jensen, Langley, back to Jensen, who hits it hard, but that's blocked for the Lords, but it goes out of play off a hand of Algonquin player, and Eric Jensen, too much to handle as he gets the Lords back on serve.
As Luke Fafard getting a little bit of coaching by assistant coach at the bench there. See if there were some adjustments to be made.
Another quick play there. Once again, it's Jonah Nyman as he's doing a good job there, keeping the Lords on their toes. The very proficient setter for this Algonquin Thunder team. A couple of quick times there. He's just slapped the ball over the net for quick points on the unsuspecting Lords. Serve there, deflects off the white of the net and still goes over. It's Jensen there, and there's way too much sauce on that one as the combination of Jonah Nyman as well as Tristan Cardinal, no match for the right arm of Eric Jensen.
Yeah, that was a good job by Jensen getting up there and smashing that one down. We'll see if Langley can hold serve here and get the Lords in the lead, just down 1 point here at the CRWC. Joey Chapman with the call, John Lodge here with the color. And yeah, we would like to thank everybody for listening. Make sure you throw it a like and a follow to the Durham Lords Network, especially if you want to continue listening to us do our thing.
Absolutely, is certainly not paying attention in Craig's Robertson class is me this week, as I haven't branded once all show long.
That's why I threw it in
We
there.
got lots of time. As soon as you started doing it, I'm like, oh yeah. I haven't said Durham Lords Network or our names, as that's a nice play there by Mickelson to get that ball over. And a big block there as the Lords win the point. Tyler Cravey and Taylor Mickelson teaming up there for the Lords, and they get back to within one, 4-3, and Big E will be on serve for the gold, white, and green.
Like that name, eh? Better than Dad, I think.
I like it, yeah. I like it much better.
Oh, yeah,
Jensen,
that's a line violation
he
by
clearly
Jensen.
stepped on it. That's an easy one for the back flag judge. Jensen was a good half a foot over the line. He doesn't got small shoes, does the big man, and that's an easy call from the official. Algonquin back on serve now, and they go right at Eric Jensen. And there it is for the Lords as Tyler Carabi comes over the top and hammers that ball home. Quickly do the Lords regain serve here. It will be Mickelson Mickelson has been a huge addition to this team after not playing earlier in the week. It looked like he was injured. He was on the bench in his tracksuit. Didn't get an update, but he's here ready to go tonight, and he's played well. There's a block at the net from Tristan Cardinal, as the Ottawa, Ontario native, 6'4", certainly doesn't look like the most imposing figure, but he gets up there for the big block, and he will have serve.
These guys don't look that tall from up here, but if we were to stand next to him, definitely feel a little bit shorter.
Yeah, it's weird being down there. I don't like it. I like being the tall guy. As Langley almost played that ball, but it still went over the net, as that went right at Langley again. Hard hit there, but way too much as Wesley Armstrong tried to go cross court, hit that ball a little bit fat, and the Lords relinquish another point, 4-7. Now the score, 7-4, I should say, as this is still Cardinal on serve. Cardinal hits that over right off of Fard. Langley sets it up, and it's tapped over by Tyler Craby as he does another excellent job at just getting the ball over the net and giving the Lords an opportunity to get the points, and they do just that there.
I'm just looking at Funcho palming those volleyballs, and I
Funcho's a monster.
Yeah, I guarantee he wishes the basketball was that small.
And he'd hammer it down like he does on the court. As Jensen tried to answer, but that's a big block from Tom Collingsworth as he shows up for one of the first times tonight. The largest player on this Algonquin Thunder team at 6'6", using all of that there to stuff Big E. Algonquin coming back. Langley sent over there, and a hard hit by Wesley Armstrong as he does a better job that time of getting it in play.
The Lords are in another dogfight, Joey.
As they continue to pick on Cameron Jones here, number 5 from the Algonquin Thunder. We'll keep an eye on that if that's a matchup the Lords look to continue to go to as this one continues. Sent over the net there by Armstrong. Blocked at the net by Jensen, and there it is. The Lords now just down by 1 as Eric Jensen did a good job there at the net to get in the way of that Thunder ball. It's Armstrong once again, still on serve. Lords lead 2-1 here inside the Campus Recreation and Wellness Center in beautiful North Oshawa. Joey Chapman on the call, John Lodge doing color with you, as this is a good one on the Durham Lords Network.
Nice
block at the net, and it will be Lords ball, as you're right, John. That was a nice looking play.
Just getting fingertips on it and getting the point. There was a call at the net. We'll see if the Lords can get the lead here with Armstrong serving.
And Armstrong just airmails that one as he's gone under it once again. Trying to find his range as Wesley Armstrong in this game. Back on serve for the Algonquin Thunder, Gareth Luke. We've seen a couple different serves from him. That time, a lob ball over right at Jensen, and the Lords make him pay as Tyler Craby hammers it home, and we're tied up here at 9s. Once again, John, the Lords do a good job at fighting back to tie up a set.
Yeah, man, they've shown nothing but fight in this game so far. First set, getting the win, coming back from being up big, then losing the lead, going to overtime. They've done a great job in the face of adversity, and now they've got the lead again here in this, or I did say first set, I meant third set, and in this fourth set, they do have the lead again. We'll see if Lucas Pitchell can continue holding service here for the Durham Lords.
Yeah, first time they've led this set, John, as Algonquin thought they got that previous point, but the officials say no. This is a misplay there as Tyler Craby, excuse me, thought that ball was going over and let it come down too far and had no choice but to lift that ball. You're right, Mr. Lodge, and we are locked here at 10s. Both teams have both timeouts to use here in this fourth set. The Lords up on the Thunder 2-1.
Holy goodness, that went high.
Yeah, it was a high throw and couldn't control it there as Tom's Collingworth hammers that ball just a little too long, giving the Lords back the lead. Up by 1 now. It will be Rory Langley with the serve as Langley gets this ball over. Right at the libero he goes. Langley with a diving play there to get under it. Bit of a miscommunication, but Fafard recovers and gets the ball over for Durham. right at Fafard. That looked like it hit him right in the noggin as he recovered well. Algonquin trying to hammer this ball home. Durham doing a good job, but not enough, as diving everywhere were the Durham Lords, trying to somehow come away with that point, but Algonquin just too strong there, and we're tied up at 11s.
Armstrong put Fafard in a bad spot there, backing off from a play in the back corner. Fafard doing a great job digging that out, and Langley unable to dive and get anything on it. Man, what a great job showing fight, though, by the Lords.
Lords have to communicate better on the court, as that's going to be another Lord point. They're going to say that ball hit the ground. The Algonquin Thunder don't like that call, but the green, white, and gold will take it as they are back on serve here, and it is the big man with the ball in his hands, up by 1. Eric Jensen, a high throw there. That might have been the highest of the night as he hammers that ball over, and they're going to say that Jonah Nyman touched the net on that bump. Very uncharacteristic bump at the net there, John, but the Lords will take the point as Nyman just couldn't stay away from the netting.
As the Lords now open up a 2-point advantage here. Big E with the serve. Hopefully we can, or they can open up a bigger lead.
Jensen hits it hard again. That time just too much on it. As a good job there by DeFrunz to let that ball sail right by him. And Algonquin gets it back. It will be McNaughton again on serve for Thunder. He looks like he's going to toss a high one up here as well. He tricked me, he does not, but he goes right at Jensen. Jensen to Langley to Mickelson, who gets it over, and Thunder try and answer back as Taylor Mickelson at the net. I don't know if he got a piece of it, but he was right there, and the Algonquin Thunder trail once again by 2.
He definitely got his body in the right spot and spooked the offensive player there into putting it, I think, right into the net. But if it went over, he was going to block it anyway.
Mickelson gets that ball over again. Hard hit there, but out of play. And that was Gareth Luke hitting that ball 1.5 feet to the left of the far line. And the Lords have taken their largest lead of this 4th set, forcing Algonquin into a timeout as the Durham Lords lead 15-12 here, and they've been on a run, John.
They've been doing a great job with these unforced errors and not getting these unforced errors that we've been so used to seeing so far this year with the Lords. They've done a great job, but so has the Algonquin Thunder. That's why we're seeing such a dogfight. We're seeing the ball go back and forth so much. And in games like these, it's really important, Joey, that you hold your serve, especially when there's no errors happening. So the Lords doing a great job with that. We'll see if they can continue this out of the break or out of the timeout here. Just 10 points away from a 4th set victory, and cleaning this up before we need to go to a 5th set. See if the Lords can get it done.
That's a big opportunity here for Durham to finish this thing off and not be forced into a 5th set. Take all the momentum and confidence into Game 2, which will be live right here on the Durham Lords Network at around 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Make sure to share, like, follow the feed. Let people know how to find us. And if you're listening and you're close to campus, come on down, watch the game live, and come and say hi.
Absolutely, as Mickelson gets this ball over on serve. It's McNaughton sending it up there as that ball hits off the head of Tyler Karabi at the net as the Durham Lords relinquish serve, and Algonquin now trails by just 1.
Yeah, it was tough there. I mean, he threw everything he had at that ball, and getting hit in the noggin and going out of bounds. Not much you can do there. Just get the service back here.
As Cardinal on serve here for the Thunder. Langley to Pitchell, and they're going to call that a throw or a lift.
No, a line violation, I think. They're pointing to the
on
floor,
Langley. So. Either way, I thought it might have been a lift. Rory Langley with the penalty there, and Durham's lead is still just 1. Okay, we're back to still at 1. I guess they were early on the clock last time as that ball goes long as the Lords back to 16-14 as that was a miss hit there from Tristan Cardinal.
I'm sure I'll get all these referee penalty calls down by the end of the season.
Yeah, eventually. In the last game of the year, we'll know everything off the back of our hands. Like the back of our hands? Like the back of our hands.
Yeah, I was going to say if it's off the back of our hands because I wrote it there.
As that ball is hammered home by Algonquin. Jonah Nyman there. And That's a tough one there for the Durham Lords, as that was a bit of a miss hit and not a lot of power on it, and Nyman makes them pay.
Straight down to the floor.
Here's Cameron Jones back on serve for the Thunder. Sent over there, but I'm not quite sure what that's going to be. They're going to say that was a throw over the net by Tyler Karabi. Not sure if I agree with that call there, John, but the Algonquin Thunder certainly not arguing it, and neither are the Lords, so we will move on. It is Jones sending it over. Langley sends it across. As Jensen digs it out there, it's Langley. Getting over there was Armstrong as Algonquin tries to answer back, and they do. Hammered home there as they have taken back the lead, as Coach Matsuaki is probably close to calling a timeout here, as Algonquin has seized the momentum in this game. Jensen to Langley, back to Jensen, who hammers it home. That's a quick way to get it back, as Eric Jensen hits that ball like it was mad at him, and he hammers that thing down into the court, and Wesley Armstrong will get back serve here for the Lords, tied up at 17s. Armstrong sends this ball long and in. Well, Armstrong trying to dive for it there, but a nice shot from the Algonquin Thunder and Tom Collingwood there to regain the lead, as they are just 7 points away from forcing a fifth and final set. Langley at the net quickly there, as Rory Langley with a change of pace catches the Thunder off guard, and we're tied back up at 18s. This is going to be a nail biter, Johnny. Yeah, this is a dogfight, man, going back and forth, and that's what the Lords have kind of allowed to happen by giving up that 4-point advantage they had coming out of the timeout. Algonquin doing a great job cleaning up their mess. And Algonquin with a miss hit there, as the Lords certainly will take it, and they get back their lead 19-18 now. It is Lucas Pitchell on serve for the Durham Lords. Pitchell, couple bounces and sends this ball hard over the net. Trying to answer are the Algonquin Thunder here, as they need to win this set to continue on this match. Nyman sends it over there, and that hits off the hands of Lucas Pitchell, as Jared McNaughton just put way too much on that ball, and we are once again locked up here, this time at 19s. A little bit of humor for you. That went right off the men's volleyball OCAA championships banner. Dug out there by Armstrong after a hard serve. Jensen tries to get it back. Nice dig out there from the Thunder, but unable to make the play is Jared McNaughton, as he did a good job there to dig out the Eric Jensen smash, but can't recover and set his feet in time to put a proper smash down of his own, as it goes long, and Langley back on serve for the Lords here. Answering is the Algonquin Thunder's Jared McNaughton. Certainly didn't mistake on that one, as he hammers it home, and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth continues, as we are now tied up at 20s. Looks like we might be in for another overtime match here. Nyman sends this ball over. Langley sets it up for Armstrong, who just taps that over. Excuse me, that was Karabi. And that's hit into the net uncharacteristically there by Jared McNaughton, as he's been involved in the last 3 plays, and the Lords get the ball back, and they certainly have to be happy with who has the ball in their hand, as Eric Jensen gets ready to serve here. 4 points away from the match. Jensen with a high throw and in, as Eric Jensen gets the ace, his second of the game. And now the Lords just 3 points away here. Jensen looking to replicate that serve once again. Jensen gets that ball over, took a little bit off at that time. Nyman, and that ball is hit hard, but into the outstretched arms of Taylor Mickelson, who can't get enough of it. And McNaughton once again involved for the Algonquin Thunder, and he will be on serve now, trying to tie this game up at 22s. McNaughton serve set up there, hit hard, but hit off the arm of an Algonquin player and out of bounds, and that will be Lords points, as that hit off of Gareth Luke before. landing out of play as Eric Banga comes back in here, John. Another opportunity for number 2 to come in as a serving specialist and win the set.
Yeah, he's going to have a chance here to win the set and game for the Lords to see what Banga can do at the line.
Banga with his first serve, he gets it over there. Bit tricky for the Thunder as they played it back. Thunder trying to respond here. Tipped at the net and blocked by Lucas Pitchell. A good job there as him
sent it underneath the net.
And Tyler Kraby teamed up for the block as the Lords are now just 1 point away from the set and match victory here as the Lords force the Thunder into calling their second and final timeout.
As our in-house DJ is playing what seems to be his new favorite track, Bruno Mars and Cardi B. You know, getting
it's a banger, bro.
It's a great song, but I'm going to hate it by the time we're done here. Anyway, getting back to the basketball game, Aaron Banga doing a great job showing his coach knows what he's talking about, putting him in there for the serve and getting the point for the Lords. He's going to have a chance to win this game when he comes out of it. But keying in on Eric Jansen, he's been a monster for the Lords this game so far. You know, just smashing the ball with the accuracy and the power. But then on his last serve, I know he didn't get a point out of it, but changing the dynamics of it and just taking a lot off of the serve, just flicking it in there. Good job putting it in the minds of Algonquin. They're going to have a lot to think of coming up, or preparing for the next game here, especially if the Lords can clean it up here.
Big opportunity here for the green, white, and gold to come away with a 3-1 victory. Eric Banga has the ball in his hand. Banga sends this ball over. Algonquin trying to answer. It's blocked by Pitchell, but a good job there by the Thunder to answer back. Pitchell once again gets a hand on it here as the Thunder are reeling. Well, a third block from Lucas Pitchell as he is playing huge at the net. Blocked again by the Lords. Pitchell was in there. Algonquin trying to get it back over the net. Pitchell volleys it. Langley bumps it. Hit hard there by Armstrong as the Thunder trying to find their footing here. It's Langley setting up Jensen, who hits it hard. And
no, come on, that went off the hands of Algonquin.
That certainly looked that way to me, John, but the officials say no, as somehow the Algonquin Thunder find a way to win that point after scrambling around. And that is a tough break there for the Durham Lords.
As we are now just joined by some young basketball players who are playing at the CRWC. They're going to enjoy some OCAA volleyball.
This ball's sent over here by Algonquin. Langley at the net for Pitchell. Pitchell just taps it over. Algonquin answering back. And there it is. Jared McNaughton hammering that ball right by Luke Fafard. As we are now a 1-point game, and that forces the Lords into calling their timeout. 24-23 the score here. John, what have you seen from these last handful of points that have made the Thunder so successful?
Aside from a bad call by the referees, you know, to be completely honest with you, it's just the same thing we've seen all game in both sets that we've called so far. It's a dogfight, it's scrappiness, and it's just not letting what happened the last point affect what's going to happen on the next point. That's exactly what the Lords need to do here. They're down, or they've lost the last 2 points. They're still up by 1. They need to realize that the next point matters more than the last point. Go out there and get it, and get the set and game victory.
This is just the fourth last home game for the men's team here at the CRWC. They play once again tonight against Algonquin, and then Lacete tomorrow, and they finish off their home schedule on Thursday, February the 8th against Fleming. John Lodge and myself will have the call for you. Don't you worry, as the Lords try and finish off this one here. 1 point away are the Durham Lords. Ryan Curran serves it over for the Thunder. Langley sets it up there. Hit hard by the Lords. Getting it over was Kraby, and the Thunder answer back. Dug out there by Durham. Kraby again, hit hard, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The Durham Lords take this final set 25-23, and they win 4-1 here at the CRWC. And John, a back and forth one that we didn't get to see everything, but certainly a good win here for the Durham Lords in game 1 of 2 for them here today.
Yeah, it's a good job by the Lords, getting a lot of energy playing this game. It wasn't an easy 2 sets to take the 3 sets to 1 victory, but it'll add a lot of energy to the later game. I'm excited to see what happens between these 2 teams. Algonquin's going to want to come back and get revenge for losing this one, feeling maybe a little bit cheated because they weren't able to get fully going. Both teams were on an even keel though, even pace. It was a short game for both, so we'll see what happens coming into the second game here starting at 8 o'clock. But we've got a women's game coming up soon. We'll see the Durham Lords facing the Algonquin Thunder again. Me and Joey will be back for that one.
Yeah, it should be a good one, John. So the Durham Lords need just over an hour to dispatch of the Algonquin Thunder here in game 1 of their doubleheader. Do not go anywhere here on the Durham Lords Network. Like John mentioned, a women's volleyball game about 60 minutes away, followed by the men's game. It should be a good one. The Lords win their first one here at the CRWC. A good start. Me and John will be right back in about an hour's time.